France and Burgundy, my noble lord.
My lord of Burgundy, we first address toward you, who with this king hath rivaled for our daughter. What in the least will you require in present dower with her, or cease your quest of love?
Most royal majesty, I crave no more than hath your highness offered, nor will you tender less.
Right noble Burgundy, when she was dear to us we did hold her so, but now her price is fallen, so there she stands. If aught within that little seeming substance, or all of it with our displeasure pieced, and nothing more, may fitly like your grace, she is there, and she is yours.
I know no answer.
Will you, with these infirmities she owes, unfriended, new adopted to our hate, dowered with our curse, and strangered with our oath, take her or leave her?
Pardon me, royal sir. Election makes not up in such conditions.
Then leave her, sir, for by the power that made me, I tell you all her wealth. For you, great king, I would not from your love make such a stray to match you where I hate. Therefore beseech you to avert your liking a more worthier way than on a wretch whom nature's ashamed almost to acknowledge hers.
This is most strange, that she whom even but now was your best object, the argument of your praise, balm of your age, the best, the dearest, should in this trice of time commit a thing so monstrous to dismantle so many folds of favour. Sure her offence must be of such unnatural degree that monsters it, your forevouched affection fall into taint, which to believe of her must be a faith that reason without miracles should never plant in me.
I yet beseech your majesty, if for I want that glib and oily art to speak and purpose not, since what I well intend I'll do it before I speak, that you make known it is no vicious blot, murther, or foulness, no unchaste action or dishonoured step that hath deprived me of your grace and favour, but even for want of that for which I am richer, the still soliciting eye, and such a tongue that I am glad I have not, though not to have it hath lost me in your liking.
Better thou hadst not been born than not to have pleased me better.
Is it but this, a tardiness in nature which often leaves the history unspoke that it intends to do? My lord of Burgundy, what say you to the lady? Love's not love when it is mingled with regards. That stands aloof from the entire point. Will you have her? She is herself a dowry.
Royal king, give but that portion which yourself proposed, and here I take Cordelia by the hand, Duchess of Burgundy.
Nothing. I have sworn. I am firm.
I am sorry, then, you have so lost a father that you must lose a husband.
Peace be with Burgundy. Since that respect and fortune are his love, I shall not be his wife.
Fairest Cordelia, that art most rich being poor, most choice forsaken, and most loved despised. Thee and thy virtues here I seize upon. Be it lawful, I take up what's cast away. Gods, 'tis strange that from their coldest neglect my love should kindle to inflamed respect. Thy darless daughter, king, thrown to my chance, is queen of us, of ours, and our fair France. Not all the dukes of waterish Burgundy can buy this unprized, precious maid of me. Bid them farewell, Cordelia. Though unkind, thou losest here a better where to find.
Thou hast a France, let her be thine, for we have no such daughter, nor shall ever see that face of hers again. Therefore be gone, without our grace, our love, our benison. Come, noble Burgundy.
Bid farewell to your sisters.
The jewels of our father. With washed eyes Cordelia leaves you. I know you what you are, and like a sister am most loath to call your faults as they are named. Love well our father. To your professed bosoms I commit him. But yet, alas, stood I within his grace, I would prefer him to a better place. So farewell to you both.
Prescribe not us our duties.
Let your study be to content your lord, who hath received you at fortune's arms. You have obedience scanted, and well are worth the want that you have wanted.
Time shall unfold what plighted cunning hides, who covered faults that last with shame derides. Well may you prosper.
Come, my fair Cordelia.
Sister, it is not little I have to say of what most nearly appertains to us both. I think our father will hence tonight.
That's most certain, and with you. Next month with us.
You see how full of changes his age is. The observation we have made of it has not been little. He always loved our sister most, and with what poor judgment he has now cast her off appears too grossly.
'Tis the infirmity of his age, yet he hath ever but slenderly known himself.
The best and soundest of his time hath been but a rash. Then must we look from his age to receive not alone the imperfections of long ingraft condition, but therewithal the unruly waywardness that infirm and choleric years bring with them.
Such unconstant starts are we like to have from him as this of Kent's banishment.
There is further compliment of leave-taking between France and him. Pray you, let's hit together. If our father carry authority with such disposition as he bears, this last surrender of his will but offend us.
We shall further think of it.
We must do something, and i' the heat.
Thou, nature, art my goddess. To thy law my services are bound. Wherefore should I stand in the plague of custom, and permit the curiosity of nations to deprive me? For that I am some 12 or 14 moonshines lag of a brother? Why, bastard, wherefore base? When my dimensions are as well compact, my mind as generous, and my shape as true as honest madam's issue, why brand they us with base, with baseness, bastardy, base, who in the lusty stealth of nature take more composition and fierce quality than doth within a dull, stale, tired bed go to the creating a whole tribe of fops got tween a sleep and wake. Well then, legitimate Edgar, I must have your land. Our father's love is to the bastard Edmund as to the legitimate. Fine word, legitimate. Well, my legitimate, if this letter speed and my invention thrive, Edmund the base shall top the legitimate. I grow, I prosper. Now, gods, stand up for bastards.
Kent banished thus, and France in colour parted, and the king gone tonight prescribed his power confined to exhibition. All this done upon the gad. Edmund, how now? What news?
So please your lordship, none.
Why so earnestly seek you to put up that letter?
I know no news, my lord.
What paper were you reading?
Nothing, my lord.
No. What needed then that terrible dispatch of it into your pocket? The quality of nothing hath not such need to hide itself. Let's see. Come, if it be nothing, I shall not need spectacles.
I beseech you, sir, pardon me. It is a letter from my brother that I have not all read, and for so much as I have perused, I find it not fit for your all looking.
Give me the letter, sir.
I shall offend either to detain or give it. The contents, as in part I understand them, are to blame.
Let's see.
I hope for my brother's justification he wrote this but as an essay or taste of my virtue.
This policy and reverence of age makes the world bitter to the best of our times, keeps our fortunes from us till our oldness cannot relish them. I begin to find an idle and fond bondage in the oppression of aged tyranny, who sways not as it hath power, but as it is suffered. Come to me that of this I may speak more. If our father would sleep till I waked him, you should enjoy half his revenue forever, and live the beloved of your brother, Edgar. Conspiracy? Sleep till I wake him, you should enjoy half his revenue. My son Edgar, had he a hand to write this, a heart and brain to breed it in? When came you to this? Who brought it?
It was not brought me, my lord. There's the cunning of it. I found it thrown in at the casement of my closet.
You know the character to be your brother's.
If the matter were good, my lord, I dost swear it was, but in respect of that, I would fain think it were not.
It is his.
It is his hand, my lord, but I hope his heart is not in the contents.
Has he never before sounded you in this business?
Oh, never, my lord. But I have heard him oft maintain it to be fit that sons at perfect age and fathers declined, the father should be as ward to the son, and the son manage his revenue.
Villain! Villain! His very opinion in the letter. Abhorred villain! Unnatural, detested, brutish villain! Worse than brutish! Go, sirrah, seek him. I'll apprehend him. Abominable villain, where is he?
I do not well know, my lord. If it shall please you to suspend your indignation against my brother till you can derive from him better testimony of his intent, you should run a certain course. Where if you violently proceed against him, mistaking his purpose, it would make a great gap in your own honour, and shake in pieces the heart of his obedience. I dare pawn down my life for him that he hath writ this to feel my affection to your honour, and to no other pretence of danger.
Think you so?
If your honour judge it meet, I will place you where you shall hear us confer of this, and by an auricular assurance have your satisfaction, and that without any further delay than this very evening.
He cannot be such a monster.
Nor is not sure.
To his father, that so tenderly and entirely loves him, heaven and earth. Edmund, seek him out. Wind me into him, I pray you. Frame the business after your own wisdom. I would unstate myself to be in a due resolution.
I will seek him, sir, presently, convey the business as I shall find means, and acquaint you with all.
These late eclipses in the sun and moon portend no good to us. Though the wisdom of nature can reason it thus and thus, yet nature finds itself scourged by the sequent effects. Love cools, friendship falls off, brothers divide, in cities mutinies, in countries discord, in palaces treason, and the bond cracked twixt son and father. This villain of mine comes under the prediction there's son against father, the king falls from bias of nature, there's father against child. We have seen the best of our time. Machinations, hollowness, treachery, and all ruinous disorders follow us disquietly to our graves. Find out this villain, Edmund. It shall lose thee nothing. Do it carefully. And the noble and true-hearted Kent banished. His offence, honesty. 'Tis strange.
This is the excellent foppery of the world, that when we are sick in fortune, often the surfeits of our own behaviour, we make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon, and stars, as if we were villains on necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion, knaves, thieves, and treachers by spherical predominance, drunkards, liars, and adulterers by an enforced obedience of planetary influence, and all that we are evil in by a divine thrusting arm. An admirable evasion of poor master man to lay his goatish disposition on the charge of a star. My father compounded with my mother under the dragon's tail, and my nativity was under Ursa Major, so that it follows I am rough and lecherous. Tut, I should have been that I am, had the maidenliest star in the firmament twinkled on my bastardizing, and Edgar's... Pat, he comes like the catastrophe of the old comedy. My cue is villainous melancholy, with a sigh like Tom a Bedlam. Oh, these eclipses do portend these divisions. Fa sol la mi.
Oh, now, Brother Edmund, what serious contemplation are you in?
I am thinking, brother, of a prediction I read this other day. What should follow these eclipses?
Do you busy yourself with that?
I promise you the effects he writes of succeed unhappily, as of unnaturalness between the child and the parent. Death, dearth, dissolutions of ancient amities, divisions in state, menaces and maledictions against king and nobles, needless diffidences, banishment of friends, dissipation of cohorts, nuptial breaches, and I know not what.
How long have you been a secretary astronomical?
Come. When saw you my father last?
The night gone by.
Spake you with him?
Aye, 2 hours together.
Parted you in good terms? Found you no displeasure in him by word nor countenance?
None at all.
Bethink yourself wherein you may have offended him, and at my entreaty forbear his presence until some little time hath qualified the heat of his displeasure, which at this instant so rageth in him that with the mischief of your person it would scarcely allay.
Some villain hath done me wrong.
That's my fear. I pray you have a continent forbearance till the speed of his rage goes slower. And as I say, retire with me to my lodging, from whence I will fitly bring you to hear my lord speak. Pray ye go. There's my key. If you do stir abroad, go armed.
Armed, brother?
Brother, I advise you to the best. I am no honest man if there be any good meaning toward you. I have told you what I have seen and heard but faintly, nothing like the image and horror of it. Pray you away.
Shall I hear from you anon?
I do serve you in this business.
A credulous father and a brother noble, whose nature is so far from doing harms that he suspects none, on whose foolish honesty my practices ride easy. I see the business. Let me, if not by birth, have lands by wit. All with me's meet, that I can fashion fit.
Did my father strike my gentleman for chiding of his fool?
Aye, madam.
By day and night he wrongs me. Every hour he flashes into one gross crime or other that sets us all at odds. I'll not endure it. His nights grow riotous, and himself upbraids us on every trifle. When he returns from hunting, I will not speak with him. Say I am sick. If you come slack of former services, you shall do well. The fault of it I'll answer.
He's coming, madam. I hear him.
Put on what weary negligence you please, you and your fellows. I'd have it come to question. If he distaste it, let him to my sister, whose mind and mine I know in that are one, not to be overruled. Idle old man that still would manage those authorities that he hath given away. Now, by my life, old fools are babes again, and must be used with checks as flatteries when they are seen abused. Remember what I tell you.
Well, madam.
And let his knights have colder looks among you. What grows of it, no matter. Advise your fellows so. I would breed from hence occasions, and I shall, that I may speak. I'll write straight to my sister to hold my course. Prepare for dinner.
If but as well I other accents borrow that can my speech diffuse, my good intent may carry through itself to that full issue for which I raise my likeness. Now, banished Kent, if thou canst serve where thou dost stand condemned, so may it come, thy master whom thou lovest shall find thee full of labours.
Let me not stay a jot for dinner. Go get it ready. How now? What art thou?
A man, sir.
What dost thou profess? What wouldst thou with us?
Oh, I do profess to be no less than I seem. To serve him truly that will put me in trust, to love him that is honest, to converse with him that is wise and says little, to fear judgment, to fight when I cannot choose, and to eat no fish.
What art thou?
A very honest-hearted fellow, and as poor as the king.
If thou beest as poor for a subject as he is for a king, thou art poor enough. What wouldst thou?
Service.
Who wouldst thou serve?
You.
Dost thou know me, fellow?
No, sir, but you have that in your countenance which I would fain call master.
What's that?
Authority.
What services canst thou do?
I can keep honest counsel, ride, run, mar a curious tale in telling it, and deliver a plain message bluntly. That which ordinary men are fit for, I am qualified in, and the best of me is diligence.
How old art thou?
Not so young, sir, to love a woman for singing, nor so old to dote on her for anything. I have years on my back, 48.
Follow me, thou shalt serve me. If I like thee no worse after dinner, I'll not part from thee yet. Dinner! Oh, dinner! Where is my knave, my fool? Go you, call my fool hither. Oh, you, sirrah, where's my daughter?
Sir, please, yeah.
What's this, a fellow there? Call the clock pull back. Oh, where's my fool? Oh, I think the world's asleep. How now, where's that mongrel?
He says, my lord, your daughter is not well.
Why came the slave not back when I called him?
Sir, he answered me in the roundest manner. He would not.
He would not.
My lord, I know not what the matter is, but to my judgment, your highness is not entertained with that ceremonious affection as you were wont. There's a great abatement of kindness appears as well in the general dependence as in the duke himself also, and your daughter.
Ah, sayest thou so?
I beseech you, pardon me, my lord, if I be mistaken. For my duty cannot be silent when I think your highness wrong.
But rememberest me of mine own conception. I have perceived a most faint neglect of late, which I rather blamed on mine own jealous curiosity than a very pretence and purpose of unkindness. I'll look further into it. But where is my fool? I haven't seen him this 2 days.
Since my young lady is going into France, sir, the fool hath much pined away.
No more of that. I've noted it well. Go you and tell my daughter I would speak with her. Go you call hither my fool. Oh, you, sir. Come you hither, sir. Who am I, sir?
My lady's father.
My lady's father, my lord's knave, you horse and dog, you slave, you cur.
I am none of these, my lord. I beseech your pardon.
Do you bandy looks with me, you rascal?
I'll not be struck, my lord, nor tripped neither. Your base football player.
I thank thee, fellow, thou servest me, I love thee.
Come, sir. Arise, away. I'll teach you differences. Away, away. If you will measure your lover's length again, tarry. But away, go to. Have you wisdom, so.
Now, my friendly knave, I thank thee. There's earnest of thy service.
Let me hire him too. Here's my coxcomb.
Oh, no, my pretty knave. How dost thou?
Sirrah, you were best take my coxcomb.
Why, fool?
Why? For taking one's part that's out of favour. Nay, thou canst not smile as the wind sits, thou'lt catch cold shortly. There, take my coxcomb. Why, this fellow has banished 2 one's daughters, and did the 3rd a blessing against his will. If thou follow him, thou must needs wear my coxcomb. How now, uncle? Would I had 2 coxcombs and 2 daughters?
Why, my boy?
If I gave them all my living, I'd keep my coxcombs myself. There's mine. Beg another of thy daughters.
Take heed, sirrah, the whip.
Oh, truth's a dog, Master Kennel. He must be whipped out when the lady's brack may stand by the fire and sting.
A pestilent gall to me.
Sirrah, I'll teach thee a speech.
Do.
Mark it, uncle. Have more than thou showest. Speak less than thou knowest. Lend less than thou owest. Ride more than thou goest. Learn more than thou trowest. Set less than thou throwest. Leave thy drink and thy whore, and keep in a door, and thou shalt have more than 2 tens to a score.
This is nothing, fool.
Then 'tis like the breath of an unfeed lawyer. You gave me nothing for it. Can you make no use of nothing, uncle?
Why, no, boy. Nothing can be made out of nothing.
Prithee, tell him. So much the rent of his land comes to he would not believe a fool.
A bitter fool.
Dost thou know the difference, my boy, between a bitter fool and a sweet one?
No, lad. Teach me.
That lord that counselled thee to give away thy land, come, place him here by me. Do thou for him stand. The sweet and bitter fool will presently appear. The one in motley here, the other found out there.
Dost thou call me fool, boy?
All thy other titles thou hast given away that thou was born with.
This is not altogether fool, my lord.
Oh, no, faith. Ah, lords and great men will not let me. If I had a monopoly out, they would have part on't. And ladies, too. They would not let me have all the fool to myself. They'll be snatching. Give me an egg, uncle, and I'll give thee 2 crowns.
What 2 crowns shall they be?
Why, after I have cut the egg in the middle and ate up the meat, the 2 crowns of the egg. When thou clovest thy crown in the middle and gavest away both parts, thou borest thine ass on thy back or the dirt. Thou hadst little wit in thy bald crown when thou gavest thy golden one away. If I speak like myself in this, let him be whipped that first finds it so. Fools had ne'er less grace in a year, for wise men are grown foppish, and know not how their wits to wear, their manners are so apish.
When were you wont to be so full of song, Cyril?
Oh, I have used it, uncle, e'er since thou madest thy daughters thy mothers. When thou gavest them the rod and putst down thine own breeches, then they for sudden joy did weep, and I for sorrow sung, that such a king should play Bo Peep and go the fools among.
Cyril.
Prithee, uncle, keep a schoolmaster that can teach thy fool to lie. I would fain learn to lie.
And you lie, Cyril, we'll have you whipped.
Oh, I marvel what kin thou and thy daughters are. They'll have me whipped for speaking true, thou'lt have me whipped for lying. And sometimes I'm whipped for holding my peace. Oh, I'd rather be any kind of thing than a fool. And yet I would not be thee, uncle. Thou hast pared thy wits on both sides, and left nothing in the middle. Oh, here comes one of the parings.
Oh, now, daughter. What makes that frontlet on? You're too much of late i' the frown.
Thou wast a pretty fellow when thou hadst no need to care for her frowning. Now thou art an O without a figure. I am better than thou art now. I am a fool, thou art nothing. Oh, yes, forsooth, I will hold my tongue, so your face bids me, though you say nothing. Mum, he that keeps nor crust nor crumb, weary of all shall want some. That's a shelled peascod.
Not only, sir, this your all-licensed fool, but others of your insolent retinue do hourly carp and quarrel, breaking forth in rank and not to be endured riots. Sir, I had thought by making this well known unto you to have found a safe redress, but now grow fearful by what yourself too late have spoken done, that you protect this course and put it on by your allowance, which if you should, the fault would not scape censure, nor the redresses sleep, which in the tender of a wholesome weal might in their workings do you that offence which else for shame, that then necessity will call discreet proceeding.
For you know, nuncle, the hedge sparrow fed the cuckoo so long that it had its head bit off by its young. So out went the candle and we were left darkling.
Are you our daughter?
I would you would make use of your good wisdom, whereof I know you are fraught, and put away these dispositions which of late transport you from what you rightly are.
Oh, may not an ass know when the cart draws the horse? Whoop, Jug, I love thee.
Does any here know me? This is not Lear. Does Lear walk thus, speak thus, where his eyes? Either his notion weakens his discernings a lethargy. Ah, waking, 'tis not so. Who is it who can tell me who I am?
Lear's shadow?
I would learn that. For by the marks of sovereignty, knowledge, and reason, I should be false persuaded I had daughters.
Which they will make an obedient father.
Your name, fair gentlewoman.
This admiration, sir, is much of the savour of other your new pranks. I do beseech you to understand my purposes aright. As you are old and reverend, should be wise. Here do you keep 100 knights and squires, men so disordered, so debauched and bold, that this our court, infected with their manners, shows like a riotous inn. Epicurism and lust make it more like a tavern or a brothel than a graced palace. The shame itself doth speak for instant remedy. Be then desired by her that else will take the things she begs, a little to disquantity your train, and the remainders that shall still depend to be such men as may besort your age, which know themselves and you.
Darkness and devils. Saddle my horses, call my train together, degenerate bastard. I'll not trouble thee, yet have I left a daughter.
You strike my people, and your disordered rabble make servants of their betters.
Woe that too late repents.
My lord.
Oh, sir, are you come? Is it your will? Speak, sir. Prepare my horses. Ingratitude, thou marble-hearted fiend. More hideous when thou showest thee in a child than the sea monster.
Pray, sir, be patient.
Detested kite, thou liest. My train are men of choice and rarest parts, that all particulars of duty know, and in the most exact regard support the worships of their name. O most small fault, how ugly didst thou in Cordelia show, which like an engine wrenched my frame of nature from the fixed place, drew from my heart all love, and added to the gall. O Lear, 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 beat at this gate that let thy folly in, and thy dear judgment out. Go, go, my people.
My lord, I am guiltless, as I am ignorant of what hath moved you.
It may be so, my lord. Here, nature, here, dear goddess, here, suspend thy purpose, if thou didst intend to make this creature fruitful. Into her womb convey sterility. Dry up in her the organs of increase, and from her delicate body never spring a babe to honor her. If she must teem, create her child of spleen, that it may live and be a thwart, disnatured torment to her. Let it stamp wrinkles in her brow of youth, with cadent tears fret channels in her cheeks, turn all her mother's pains and benefits to laughter and contempt, that she may feel how sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child. Away! Away!
Oh, gods that we adore, whereof comes this?
Never afflict yourself to know more of it, but let his disposition have that scope as dotage gives it.
What, 50 of my followers at a clap within a fortnight?
What's the matter, sir?
I'll tell thee. Life and death, I am ashamed that thou hast power to shake my manhood thus, that these hot tears which break from me perforce should make thee worth them. Blasts and fogs upon thee, the untended woundings of a father's curse pierce every sense about thee. Old fond eyes, beweep this cause again, I'll pluck ye out and cast you with the waters that you lose to temper clay. Ah, let it be so. I have another daughter, who I am sure is kind and comfortable. When she shall hear this of thee with her nails, she'll flay thy wolvish visage. Thou shalt find that I'll resume the shape which thou dost think I have cast off forever.
Do you mark that?
I cannot be so partial, Goneril, to the great love I bear
Pray
you.
you content. What, Oswald, ho! You, sir, more knave than fool, after your master.
Nuncle Lear, tarry, take the fool with thee. A fox the mother's quarter, and such a daughter should short to the slaughter if my cap would buy a halter, so the fool follows after.
This man hath had good counsel. 100 knights. 'Tis politic and safe to let him keep at point 100 knights. Yes, that on every dream, each buzz, each fancy, each complaint, dislike, he may enguard his dotage with their powers, and hold our lives in mercy. Oswald, I say.
Well, you may fear too far.
Safer than trust too far. Let me still take away the harms I fear, not fear still to be taken. I know his heart. What he hath uttered, I have writ my sister. If she sustain him and his 100 knights, when I have shown the unfitness... how now, Oswald, what, have you writ that letter to my sister?
Aye, madam.
Take you some company and away to horse. Inform her full of my particular fear, and thereto add such reasons of your own as may compact it more. Get you gone, and hasten your return. No, my lord, this milky gentleness and course of yours, though I condemn not, yet under pardon, you are much more at task for want of wisdom than praised for harmful mildness.
How far your eyes may pierce, I cannot tell. Striving to better, oft we mar what's well.
Nay, then.
Well, the event.
Go you before to Cornwall with these letters. Acquaint my daughter no further with anything you know than comes from her demand out of the letter. If your diligence be not speedy, I shall be there afore you.
I will not sleep, my lord, till I have delivered your letter.
If a man's brains were in's heels, wert not in danger of gyves?
Aye, boy.
Then I prithee be merry. Thy wit shall not go slipshod. Shall see thy other daughter will use thee kindly, but though she's as like this as a crab's like an apple, yet I can tell what I can tell.
What canst tell, boy?
She will taste as like this as a crab does to a crab. Thou canst tell why one's nose stands in the middle of one's face.
No.
Why, to keep one's eyes of either side's nose, that what a man cannot smell out, he may spy into.
I did her wrong.
Canst tell how an oyster makes his shell.
No.
Nor I neither. But I can tell why a snail has a house.
Why?
Why, to put head in, not to give it away to his daughters and leave his horns without a case.
I will forget my nature. So kind a father. Be my horses ready?
Thy asses are gone about 'em. The reason why the 7 stars are no more than 7 is a pretty reason.
Because they're not 8.
Yes, indeed. Thou wouldst make a good fool.
Take it again, perforce. Monster ingratitude.
If thou wert my full uncle, I'd have thee beaten for being old before thy time.
How's that?
Thou shouldst not have been old till thou hadst been wise.
Oh, let me not be mad. Not mad. Sweet heaven. Keep me in temper. I would not be mad. And now are the horses ready?
Ready, my lord.
Come, boy.
She that's a maid now and laughs at my departure shall not be a maid long, unless things be cut shorter.
Save thee, Curan.
And you, sir? I have been with your father, and given him notice that the Duke of Cornwall and Regan his Duchess will be here with him this night.
How comes that?
Hey, I know not. You have heard of the news abroad. I mean the whispered ones, for they are yet but ear-kissing arguments.
Not I. Pray you, what are they?
Have you heard of no likely wars toward, twixt the Dukes of Cornwall and Albany?
Not a word.
You may do then in time. Fare you well, sir.
The Duke be here tonight. The better, best. This weaves itself perforce into my business. My father hath set guard to take my brother, and I have one thing of a queasy question which I must act. Briefness and fortune work.
Brother, a word, descend. Brother, I say.
Aye. My father watches. Oh, sir, fly this place. Intelligence is given where you are hid. You have now the good advantage of the night. Have you not spoken against the Duke of Cornwall? The Duke? He's coming hither now in the night in a haste, and Regan with him. Have you nothing said upon his part against the Duke of Albany? Advise yourself.
I am sure on't, not a word.
I hear my father coming. Pardon me. In cunning I must draw my sword upon you. Draw, seem to defend yourself. Now quit you well.
Yield! Come before my father! Light ho! Here!
Fly, brother!
Torches! Torches!
So farewell.
Some blood drawn on me will beget opinion of my more fierce endeavour. I have seen drunkards do more than this in sport.
Father! Father! Stop! Stop! No help!
Now, Edmund, where's the villain?
Here stood he in the dark, his sharp sword out, mumbling of wicked charms, conjuring the moon to stand auspicious mistress.
But where is he?
Look, sir, I bleed.
Where is the villain, Edmund?
Fled this way, sir, where by no means he
Pursue him! Oh, go after! By no means what?
Persuade me to the murder of your lordship. But that I told him the revenging gods gainst parricides did all the thunder bend, spoke with how manifold and strong a bond the child was bound to the father. So, in fine, seeing how loathly opposite I stood to his unnatural purpose, in fell motion with his prepared sword, he charges home my unprovided body, latched mine arm. But when he saw my best alarmed spirits bold in the quarrel's right, roused to the encounter, or whether gasted by the noise I made, full suddenly he fled.
Let him fly far. Not in this land shall he remain uncaught, and found dispatch. The noble Duke, my master, my worthy art and patron, comes tonight. By his authority I will proclaim it, that he which finds him shall deserve our thanks, bringing the murderous coward to the stake. He that conceals him, death.
When I dissuaded him from his intent and found him piked to do it, with cursed speech I threatened to discover him. He replied, "Thou unpossessing bastard, dost thou think if I would stand against thee with the reposal of any trust, virtue, or worth in thee, make thy words faith? No. What I should deny, as this I would, either thou didst produce my very character, I'll turn it all to thy suggestion, plot, and damned practice. And thou must make a dullard of the world if they not thought the prophets of my death were very pregnant and potential spirits to make thee seek it."
Oh, strange and fastened villain. Would he deny his letter, said he. I never got him. Hark, the Duke's trumpets. I know not why he comes. All ports I'll bar. The villain shall not scape. The Duke must grant me that. Besides, his picture I will send far and near, that all the kingdom may have due note of him. And of my land, loyal and natural boy, I'll work the means to make thee capable.
How now, my noble friend? Since I came hither, which I can call but now, I have heard strange news.
If it be true, all vengeance comes too short, which can pursue the offender. How dost, my lord?
Oh, madam, my old heart is cracked. It's cracked.
What? That my father's godson seek your life? He whom my father named your Edgar?
Oh, lady, shame would have it hid.
Was he not companion with the riotous knights that tended upon my father?
I know not, madam. 'Tis too bad, too bad.
Yes, madam, he was of that consort.
No marvel, then, though he were ill affected. 'Tis they have put him on the old man's death, to have the expense and waste of his revenues.
I have, this present evening, from my sister, been well informed of them, and with such cautions that if they come to sojourn at my house, I'll not be there.
Nor I, assure thee, Regan. Edmund, I hear that you have shown your father a child-like office.
It was my duty, sir.
He did bewray his practice, and received this hurt, you see, striving to apprehend him.
Is he pursued?
Aye, my good lord.
If he be taken, he shall never more be feared of doing harm. Make your own purpose how in my strength you please. For you, Edmund, whose virtue and obedience doth this instant so much commend itself, you shall be ours. Natures of such deep trust we shall much need. You we first seize on.
I shall serve you, sir, truly, however else.
For him, I thank your grace.
You know not why we came to visit you?
Thus out of season, threading dark-eyed night, occasions, noble Gloster, of some prize, wherein we must have use of your advice. Our father, he hath writ, so hath our sister, of differences, which I best thought it fit to answer from our home. The several messengers from hence attend dispatch. Our good old friend, lay comforts to your bosom, and bestow your needful counsel to our businesses, which craves the instant use.
I serve you, madam. Your graces are right welcome.
Good dawning to thee, friend, out of this house.
Aye.
Where may we set our horses?
I' the mire.
Prithee, thou lovest me, tell me.
I love thee not.
Why, then I care not for thee.
If I had thee in Lipsbury pinfold, I would make thee care for me.
Why dost thou use me thus? I know thee not.
Fellow, I know thee.
What dost thou know me for?
A knave, a rascal, an eater of broken meats, a base, proud, shallow, beggarly, three-suited, 100-pound, filthy, worsted, stocking knave. A lily-livered, action-taking, whoreson, glass-gazing, super-serviceable, finical rogue. One trunk-inheriting slave, one that would be a bawd in way of good service and of nothing but the composition of a knave, beggar, coward, pander, and the son and heir of a mongrel bitch. One whom I will beat into clamorous whining if thou deniest the least syllable of thy addition.
Why, what a monstrous fellow art thou, thus to rail on one that is neither known of thee nor knows thee.
What a brazen-faced varlet art thou to deny thou knowest me. Is it 2 days since I tripped up thy heels and beat thee before the king? Draw your rogue, for though it be night, yet the moon shines. I'll make a sup of the moonshine of you, your horse and cullion and barbermonger. Draw away! I had nothing to do with it. Draw, you rascal! You come with letters against the king and take vanity the puppet's part against the royalty of our father. Draw your rogue, or I shall cut one of your shanks. Draw, you rascal! Come here, wait! Help! Murder! Help! Strike, you strike! Stand, rogue! Stand, you weak snake! Strike!
How now, what's the matter? Part!
With you, Goodman, boy, if you please. Come, I'll face you. Come on, young master.
Weapons, arms, what's the matter here?
Keep peace upon your lives. He dies that strikes again. What is the matter?
The messengers from our sister, from the king.
What is your difference? Speak.
I am scarce in breath, my lord.
No marvel. You have so bestirred your valor, you cowardly rascal. Nature disclaims in thee. A tailor made thee.
Thou art a strange fellow. A tailor make a man.
A tailor, sir. A stone-cutter and a painter could not have made him so ill though they had but the 2 hours of the trade.
Speak yet. How grew your quarrel?
This ancient ruffian, sir, whose life I've spared in the suit of his grey beard.
Thou whoreson Zed! Thou unnecessary letter. My lord, if you will give me leave, I will tread this unbolted villain into mortar and daub the wall of a jakes with him. Spare my grey beard, you wet tail.
Peace, sirrah! You beastly knave, know you no reverence?
Yes, sir, but anger hath a privilege.
Why art thou angry?
That such a slave as this should wear a sword who wears no honesty. Such smiling rogues as these, like rats, oft bite the holy cords atwain, which are too entrenched to unloose. Smooth every passion, that in the natures of their lords rebel. Bring oil to fire, snow to the cold of moods, renege, affirm, and turn their halcyon beaks with every gale and vary of their masters, knowing not like dogs, but following. A plague upon your epileptic visage! Smile you my speeches as I were a fool? Goose! If I had you upon Sarum Plain, I'd drive you cackling home to Camelot.
What, art thou mad, old fellow?
How fell you out? Say that.
No contraries hold more antipathy than I and such a knave.
Why dost thou call him knave? What is his fault?
His countenance likes me not.
No more perchance does mine. Nor his, nor hers.
Sir, 'tis my occupation to be plain. I have seen better faces in my time than stands on any shoulder that I see before me at this instant.
This is some fellow who, having been praised for bluntness, doth affect a saucy roughness, and constrains the garb quite from his nature. He cannot flatter, he. An honest mind and plain, he must speak truth. and they will take it so. If not, he's plain. These kind of knaves I know, which in this plainness harbour more craft and more corrupter ends than 20 silly ducking observants that stretch their duties nicely.
Sir, in good faith, in sincere verity, under the allowance of your great aspect, whose influence like the wreath of radiant fire on flickering Phoebus' front...
What means by this?
To go out of my dialect, which you discommend so much. I know, sir, I am no flatterer. He that beguiled you in a plain accent was a plain knave, which for my part I will not be, though I should win your displeasure to entreat me to it.
What was the offence you gave him?
I never gave him any. It pleased the king, his master, very late to strike at me upon his misconstruction, when he, compact and flattering his displeasure, tripped me behind. Being done, insulted, railed, and put upon him such a deal of man that worthied him. Got praises of the king for him attempting who was self-subdued, and in the fleshment of this dread exploit, drew on me here again.
None of these rogues and cowards, but Ajax is their fool.
Fetch forth the stocks! You stubborn ancient knave, you reverend braggart, we'll teach you.
Sir, I'm too old to learn. Call not your stocks for me. I serve the king, on whose employment I was sent to you. You shall do small respects, show too bold malice against the grace and person of my master, stalking his messenger.
Fetch forth the stocks. As I have life and honour, there shall he sit till noon.
Till noon? Till night, my lord. And all night, too.
Why, madam, if I were your father's dog, you should not use me so.
Sir, being his knave, I will.
This is a fellow of the self-same colour our sister speaks of. Come, bring away the stocks.
Let me beseech your grace not to do so. His fault is much, and the good king, his master, will check him for it. Your purposed low correction is such as basest and contemnous wretches for pilferings and most common trespasses are punished with. The king must take it ill that he, so slightly valued in his messenger, should have him thus restrained.
I'll answer that.
My sister may receive it much more worse to have her gentleman abused, assaulted for following her affairs. Put in his legs. Now, my good lord, away.
I'm sorry for thee, friend. 'Tis the Duke's pleasure, whose disposition all the world well knows will not be rubbed nor stopped. I'll entreat for thee.
Pray do not, sir. I have watched and travelled hard. Sometime I shall sleep out, the rest I'll whistle. A good man's fortune may grow out at heels. Give you good morrow.
The Duke's to blame in this. It will be ill taken.
Good king, that must approve the common soul. Thou, out of heaven's benediction, comest to the warm sun. Approach, thou beacon, to this underglobe, that by thy comfortable beams I may peruse this letter. Nothing almost sees miracles but misery. I notice from Cordelia, who hath most fortunately been informed of my obscure course, and shall find time from this enormous state seeking to give losses the remedies. All weary and o'erwatched. Take vantage, heavy eyes, not to behold this shameful lodging. Fortune, good night. Smile once more. Turn thy wheel.
I heard myself proclaimed, and by the happy hollow of a tree escaped the hunt. No port is free, no place that guard and most unusual vigilance does not attend my taking. Whiles I may escape, I will preserve myself, and am bethought to take the basest and most poorest shape that ever penury and contempt of man brought near to beast. My face I'll grime with filth, blanket my loins, elf all my hairs in knots, and with presented nakedness outface the winds and persecutions of the sky. The country gives me proof and precedent of bedlam beggars, who with roaring voices strike in their numbed and mortified arms pins, wooden pricks, nails, sprigs of rosemary, and with this horrible object
from low farms, poor pelting villages, sheepcotes and mills, sometime with lunatic bands, sometime with prayers. Enforce that charity. Poor Turligod! Poor Tom! That's something yet. Edgar, I nothing am.
'Tis strange that they should so depart from home and not send back my messenger.
As I learned the night before, there was no purpose in them of this remove.
Hail to thee, noble master.
How? Makest thou this shame thy pastime?
No, my lord.
He wears cruel garters. Horses are tied by the heads, dogs and bears by the neck, monkeys by the loins, and men by the legs. When a man's over lustier legs, then he wears wooden leather stocks.
What's he that hath so much thy place mistook to set thee here?
It is both he and she, your son and daughter.
No.
Yes.
No, I say.
I say yea.
No, they would not.
Yes, they have.
By Jupiter, I swear no.
By Juno, I swear aye.
They durst not do it. They could not, would not do it. 'Tis worse than murder to do upon respect such violent outrage. Resolve me with all modest haste which way thou mightst deserve, or they impose this usage coming from us.
My lord, when at their home I did commend your highness letters to them, ere I was risen from the place that showed my duty kneeling, came there a reeking post, stewed in his haste, half breathless, panting forth from Goneril his mistress' salutations. Delivered letters spite of intermission, which presently they read. On those contents they summoned up their meany, straight took horse, commanded me to follow and attend the leisure of their answer, gave me cold looks, and meeting here the other messenger, whose welcome I perceived had poisoned mine, being the very fellow which of late displayed so saucily against your highness, having more man than wit about me, drew. He raised the house with loud and coward cries. Your son and daughter found this trespass worth the shame which here it suffers.
Winter's not gone yet if the wild geese fly that way. Fathers that wear rags do make their children blind, but fathers that bear bags shall see their children kind. Fortune, that errant hornet, turns the key to the poor. But for all this thou shalt have as many dollars for thy daughters as thou canst tell in a year.
Oh, how this mother swells up toward my heart. Hysterica passio, down thou climbing sorrow, thy elements below. Where is this daughter?
With the Earl, sir, here within.
Follow me not. Stay here.
Made you no more offence but what you speak of?
None. How chance the king comes with so small a number?
And thou hadst been set in the stocks for that question, thou'dst well deserved it.
Why, fool?
We'll set thee to school to an ant, to teach thee there's no labouring in the winter. All that follow their noses are led by their eyes, but blind men, and there's not a nose among 20 but can smell him that's stinking. Let go thy hole when a great wheel runs down a hill, lest it break thy neck with following. But the great one that goes upward, let him draw thee after. When a wise man gives thee better counsel, give me mine again. I would have none but knaves follow it, since a fool gives it. That, sir, which serves and seeks for gain, and follows but for form, will pack when it begins to rain, and leave thee in the storm. But I will tarry, the fool will stay, and let the wise man fly. The knave turns fool that runs away. The fool, no knave, pardie.
Where learned you this, fool?
Not in the stocks, fool.
Deny to speak with me. They're sick, they're weary, they've travelled all the night. Mere fetches. I, the images of revolt and flying off, fetch me a better answer.
My dear lord, you know the fiery quality of the Duke, how unremovable and fixed he is in his own course.
Vengeance, plague, death, confusion. Fiery? What quality? Why, Gloster, I would speak with the Duke of Cornwall and his wife.
Well, my good lord, I have informed them so.
Inform them? Dost thou understand me, man?
Aye, my good lord.
The king would speak with Cornwall. The dear father would with his daughter speak, commands her service. Are they informed of this? My breath and blood the fiery Duke. Tell the hot Duke that... No, but not yet. Maybe he is not well. Infirmity doth still neglect all office whereto our health is bound. We not ourselves, when nature being oppressed, commands the mind to suffer with the body. I'll forbear, and am fallen out with my more headier will to take the indisposed and sickly fit for the sound man. Death on my state, wherefore should he sit here? This act persuades me that this remotion of the Duke and her is practice only. Give me my servant forth. Go tell the Duke and's wife I'd speak with them. Now, presently, bid them come forth and hear me, or at their chamber door I'll beat the drum till it cries sleep to death.
I would have all well betwixt you.
Oh me, my heart, my rising heart, but down.
Cry to it, Nuncle, as the cockney did to the eagles when she put 'em in the paste alive. She napped 'em all the coxcombs with a stick and cried, "Down, wantons, down!" 'Twas her brother that in pure kindness to his horse buttered his hay.
Good morrow to you both.
Hail to your grace.
I'm glad to see your highness.
Regan, I think you are. I know what reason I have to think so. If thou shouldst not be glad, I would divorce me from thy mother's tomb, sepulchring an adulteress. Oh, are you free? Some other time for that. Beloved Regan, thy sister is naught. Oh, Regan, she hath tied sharp-toothed unkindness like a vulture here. I can scarce speak to thee. Thou'lt not believe with how depraved a quality. Oh, Regan.
I pray you, sir, take patience. I have hope you less know how to value her desert than she to scant her duty.
Say, how's that?
I cannot think my sister in the least would fail her obligation. If, sir, perchance she have restrained the riots of your followers, 'tis on such ground and to such wholesome end as clears her from all blame.
My curses on her.
Oh, sir, you are old. Nature in you stands on the very verge of her confine. You should be ruled and led by some discretion that discerns your state better than you yourself. Therefore I pray you that to our sister you do make return. Say you have wronged her.
Ask her forgiveness. Oh, do you but mark how this becomes the house? Dear daughter, I confess that I am old. Age is unnecessary. On my knees I beg that you vouchsafe me raiment, bed, and food.
Good sir, no more. These are unsightly tricks. Return you to my sister.
Never, Regan. She hath abated me of half my train, looked black upon me, struck me with her tongue most serpent-like upon the very heart. All the stored vengeances of heaven fall on her ingrateful top. Strike her young bones, you taking theirs with lameness. You nimble lightnings dart your blinding flames into her scornful eyes. Infect her beauty, you fen-sucked fogs, drawn by the powerful sun to fall and blister her.
Oh, the blessed God, so will you wish on me when the rash mood is on.
No, Regan, thou shalt never have my curse. Thy tender-hefted nature shall not give thee o'er to harshness. Her eyes are fierce, but thine do comfort and not burn. 'Tis not in thee to grudge my pleasures, to cut off my train, to bandy hasty words, to scant my sizes, and in conclusion to oppose the bolt against my coming in. Thou better knowest the offices of nature, bond of childhood, effects of courtesy, dues of gratitude. Thy half of the kingdom thou hast not forgot, wherein I thee endowed.
Good sir, to the purpose.
Who put my man in the stocks?
What trumpets that?
I note my sister's. This approves her letter that she would soon be here. Is your lady come?
This is a slave whose easy borrowed pride dwells in the sickly grace of her he follows out, varlet, from my sight.
What means your grace?
Who stopped my servant? Regan, I have good hope thou didst not know on't. Who comes here? O heavens, if you do love old men, if your sweet sway allow obedience, if you yourselves are old, make it your cause, send down and take my part. Art not ashamed to look upon this beard? Oh, Regan, will you take her by the hand?
Why not by the hand, sir? How have I offended? All's not offence that indiscretion finds, and dotage terms, sir.
Oh, side, you're too tough. Will you yet hold? How came my man in the stocks?
I sent him there, sir. But his own disorders deserved much less advancement.
You? Did you?
I pray you, father, being weak, seems so. If till the expiration of your month you will return and sojourn with my sister, dismissing half your train, come then to me. I am now from home, and out of that provision which will be needful for your entertainment.
Return to her, and 50 men dismissed. No! Rather I abjure all roofs, and choose to wage against the enmity of the air, to be a comrade with the wolf, and howl necessity's sharp pinch. Return with her. Where the hot-blooded France that dowerless took our youngest born, I could as soon be brought to knee his throne, and squire like pension beg to keep base life afoot. Return with her, persuade me rather to be slave and sumpter to this detested groom.
At your choice, sir.
I prithee, daughter, do not make me mad. I will not trouble thee, my child. Farewell. We'll no more meet, no more see one another. But yet thou art my flesh, my blood, my daughter. Or rather a disease that's in my flesh, which I must needs call mine. Thou art a boil, a plague sore, or embossed carbuncle in my corrupted blood. But I'll not chide thee. Let shame come when it will, I do not call it. I do not bid the thunder-bearer shoot, nor tell tales of thee to high-judging Jove. Mend when thou canst. Be better at thy leisure. I can be patient. I can stay with Regan. I and my 100 knights.
Not altogether so. I looked not for you yet, nor am provided for your fit welcome. Give ear, sir, to my sister. For those that mingle reason with your passion must be content to think you old, and so... But she knows what she does.
Is this well spoken?
I dare avouch it, sir. What, 50 followers? Is it not well? What should you need of more? Yea, or so many? Sith that both charge and danger speak gainst so great a number. How in one house should many people under 2 commands hold amity? 'Tis hard, almost impossible.
Why might not you, my lord, receive attendance from those that she calls servants, or from mine?
Why not, my lord? If then they chance to slack ye, we could control them. If you will come to me, for now I spy a danger, I entreat you to bring but 25. To no more will I give place or notice.
I gave you all.
And in good time you gave it.
Made you my guardians, my depositaries, but kept a reservation to be followed with such a number. But must I come to you with 25? Regan said you so?
And speak again, my lord, no more with me.
Those wicked creatures yet do look well favoured when others are more wicked. Not being the worst stands in some rank of praise. I go with thee. Thy 50 yet the double, 25, and thou art twice her love.
Hear me, my lord. What need you 25? 10 or 5, to follow in a house where twice so many have a command to tend you?
What need one?
A reason, not the need. Our basest beggars are in the poorest things superfluous. Allow not nature more than nature needs. Man's life's as cheap as beasts. Thou art a lady. If only to go warm or gorgeous, why nature needs not what thou gorgeous wearest, which scarcely keeps thee warm. But for true need, you heavens give me patience. Patience I need. You see me here, you gods, a poor old man, as full of grief as age, rigid in both. If it be you that stirs these daughters' hearts against their father, fool me not so much to bear it tamely. Touch me with noble anger, and let not women's weapons, water drops, stain my man's cheeks. No, you unnatural,
Hags! I will have such revenges on you both, that all the world shouts. I will do such things, what they are yet I know not, but they shall be the terrors of the earth. You think I weep? No, I'll not. I have full cause of weeping. But this heart shall break into 100,000 flaws, or ere I weep. O fool, I shall go mad.
Let us withdraw. 'Twill be a storm.
This house is little. The old man and his people cannot be well bestowed.
'Tis his own blame hath put himself from rest, and needs must taste his folly.
For his particular I'll receive him gladly, but not one follower.
So am I purposed. Where's my lord of Gloucester?
Follow the old man forth. He's returned.
The king is in high rage.
Whither is he going?
He calls to horse, but will I know not whither.
'Tis best to give him way. He leads himself.
My lord, entreat him by no means to stay.
Alack, the night comes on, and the high winds do sorely ruffle. For many miles about there's scarce a bush.
Oh, sir, to wilful men the injuries that they themselves procure must be their schoolmasters. Shut up your doors. He is attended with a desperate train, and what they may incense him to being apt to have his ear abused, wisdom bids fear.
Shut up your doors, my lord. 'Tis a wild night. My Regan counsels well. Come out of the storm.